Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented. It has been quite a start to the 2010 season for Miguel Cabrera. The reigning player of the week in the American League is batting .481 to start the season. And the big fella smack dab in the middle of the Tigers lineup again today, batting cleanup and playing first base. It is a cloudy, overcast day here at the ballpark. We bring you Game 2 in this series featuring the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us. Middle game of the series. Tigers, Rod, trying to bounce back in this one, and they will do so with Dontrell Willis on the mound. And really, the early returns on Dontrell were great last week in Kansas City. Hopefully, he can duplicate that today.
You know, Dontrell is just a wonderful story. Everybody knows what Dontrell had to go through the last couple of years, just trying to get back on a big league mound. But he took huge steps in spring training this year as a long shot to make the team. Not only did he make the team, but he also made the big league roster. And he looked very good in his very first start against Kansas City. You didn't know what to expect. He walked 2 of the first 4 hitters, but he quickly found a really nice arm slot with his breaking ball, and he had 4 strikeouts in the game, and we're going to show them to you. That was a fastball. He blew right by Jason Kendall, but the other pitches that he got strikeouts on were at the bottom of the strike zone. It was an outstanding day for Dontrell. He pitched 6 innings and took a no decision into the clubhouse with him.
And boy, if Dontrell Willis can pitch well this season, he along with Bonderman can really solidify a Tigers pitching staff that hopefully will do some good things, and so far have done some really good things this year for the Tigers. With more on today's coverage here, let's send it down to the Call Sam Studios now and Ryan Field. Ryan? Two in the series, and if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the Tigers box score in your newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Dontrell Willis on the hill, getting ready to go to work here this afternoon to face this Kansas City team, which took Game 1 in the series yesterday. And the Royals batting order presented by Honda Bloomfield this afternoon. It has David DeJesus leading it off in right field. Scott Futsednik in left, Billy Butler at first, The middle of their lineup has Guillen, Ankiel, and Callaspo. You've got Kendall, Bloomquist, and Betancourt at the bottom. And boy, DeJesus and Podsednik, they've been really, really good against the Tigers this year. Tigers Scouting Report is presented by Scott's Lawn Pro. And you know what? We're going to have Dontrell Willis tell you what he throws today.
A two-seam fastball. Basically just hold it like this, just let it fly. Four-seam fastball right here. You know, more of a direct pitch. My change is a little different. I like to throw it like the two-seam grip right here, kind of the circle change, if you can see that. And then my slider. Sometimes I like to cut it, make it short, and this one's more of a bigger slider.
And there you have it, the repertoire of Dontrell Willis, who takes the hill, facing David DeJesus to lead things off. Chilly afternoon here at the ballpark. The lights are on. Looks like the rain will be moving out of the area, though. That's the good news. Our game time temperature 47 degrees here at the ballpark. DeJesus batting .321, was 3 for 6 yesterday with a double, scored a couple of runs. Royals had their hitting shoes on yesterday. Here's the 2-0 pitch.
Royals did what most big league teams will do if you give them as many opportunities as the Tigers gave them yesterday with the 4 errors, and they made a couple of mental mistakes as well.
And the Tigers' lack of defense yesterday certainly was one of the big reasons that Kansas City was able to win. But as you mentioned, they took advantage of those mistakes. And today's a new day, though, and hopefully the Tigers can get a good pitching performance here from Willis, get the bats going as they begin to wind down this homestand before the long road trip coming up. Tigers coming to play today at 5-2. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Full count on David DeJesus.
One thing Gerald Laird will not do with Dontrell Willis on the mound, he will not try to get cute. He will simply set up right down the heart of the plate on most two-seam fastballs. He may go to the outer third of the plate against left-handers on a breaking ball, but other than that, with Dontrell, right down the middle.
Well, the one thing we've noticed about this revamped Royals lineup is that they do have some guys that can cause some problems at the top, and they have already in this series and even the season series. Scott Podsednik waiting on deck, but DeJesus and Podsednik have been a dynamite combination at the top. Full count on David DeJesus. Fouls off another.
The Royals come into Comerica Park like it's a home game for them. 12-7 here are the Royals in the last couple of years under Trey Hillman. All the other teams combined in the American League Central are under 500.
143 and 188 in his third season as the skipper of the Royals, coming over from Japan where he managed the Ham Fighters. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped him up in the air, shallow center field. Everett, the shortstop, going back. And one gone.
Well, you know that Adam Everett is playing shortstop, and here's the rest of the Beaumont Hospital's defense. The Tigers will run out there today. In the outfield is Damon Jackson Ordonez, Inge at third. Sizemore back at second today. Cabrera at first, and G Money is behind the dish after an afternoon off yesterday when the youngster Alex Avila was behind the plate.
There's Scott Podsednik off to a 444 start thanks to a 4 for 5 yesterday.
Here's some of the problems that Podsednik presents. You see Inge here at third, Cabrera at first. They are drawn in 6-7 steps in front of where they normally would be, which means if Podsednik hits something on the ground to the left or right of each guy, they're going to have a tough time making a play. That's what speed does for you. It makes them change the way they play you defensively.
Podsednik has already stolen 5 bases this year. Hasn't been caught yet, so he is a menace on the base paths.
The two-seam fastball there away from his arm side to Podsednik by Dontrell in the outside corner. Just like most teams, partner, I think at least the very first inning, every time Dontrell's on the mound, the opposing team, they're going to come out, and they're not going to be all that aggressive. I mean, they just want to see if Dontrell's going to be in a strike-throwing mood.
Well, we saw that in the first meeting between these two teams when Willis made the start. There's a strike 3 and 2.
Already 2 batters and 2 3-2 counts, and several fastballs taken for strikes by Podsednik. But he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Slaps that one foul, back out of play. Well, Podsednik was quite a track star in high school. In fact, growing up in Texas, he had a lot of the Texas colleges come after him, the big boys like Texas A&M, Baylor, TCU.
Get him to run some routes?
Yeah, well, no, for track scholarship.
Oh, track scholarship.
Yeah, he was a terrific 300-meter hurdles runner. 3-2 pitch is inside. He lost him. One out, base on balls, and that's the first base runner of the game now for KC. That'll bring up Billy Butler. Butler 2 out of 5 yesterday. Had a couple of RBIs as well. Batting .296. One of the things we've noticed is the ability for Willis to get double play balls in bunches. He got 3 of them the first time these two teams met last week in KC. And there's no quicker way to clear the base paths and take care of walks than the double play. Butler, a pretty good candidate if he hits the ball on the ground. Podsednik, as we told you, is 5 for 5 in stolen base opportunities this year. Snap throw, and he just got back.
That is a good pickoff move by Dontrell. And that's going to cause Podsednik to shorten his lead because he was almost out. Quick step off with the left foot, good firm throw. And you saw how Cabrera allowed that ball to travel in the air just so he could catch it and drop the tag. A lot of times first basemen catch the ball out in front, coming from the pitcher. Then they catch it, then they have to reach back to put the tag on the base runner. Not that time by Cabrera.
1-1 on Butler.
Well, if Podsednik wants to run here, he's going to have to, one, get a great jump against Dontrell, who's left-handed, of course. And you've got Gerald Laird behind the plate, who had an outstanding throwing year last year, and in his career has been very good, but this year has not been given a chance to throw very much. There's a difference.
The Royals as a team have come out running this year, and we've documented how that's probably how they're going to have to win a lot of games this season. Not a whole lot of power in their lineup, but they lead the American League with 11 steals, and they have yet to be caught this year.
Good pitch, good breaking ball. And Dontrell told us in the pitching profile that he throws a couple of different breaking balls. That's the slow slider, just a little get me over breaking ball. Then he's got a little sharper one that he will throw when he wants to get the strikeout. But that's just one to keep the hitter off balance. Good pitch.
Butler fouls it away. Billy Butler, still only 23 years of age. He'll be 24 soon, but he was a former #1 pick out of high school. He went to high school in Florida. Power numbers improved last year. Drove in over 90. And he lines that one to right field. It's a base hit. Podsednik will go to second and stop there. 2 men on with 1 out.
That's why Butler hits 300. And he is not afraid to hit the ball the opposite way. Now let's take a look at the locations of the pitches that Dontrell threw to him on Fox. Pitch tracks.
Sweet swing the other way.
Sweet swing in Billy Butler. This guy's getting hot. You've got to be careful with him. He's healthy this year.
Yeah, and he's swinging it pretty good, as you mentioned. 3 home runs in the last couple of games, 2 games to be exact.
He only drove in 40 last year, but he was not healthy. He had a problem with his left ankle, which he surgically got repaired in the offseason. And now he's able to generate some bat speed. There he goes.
Podsednik going to third with no throw. He dives in there. Not afraid to do that.
And the thing about Podsednik is most guys try to get a little bit of a secondary lead going towards second. He went from a standstill position. Look at him. He went from a standstill position, and there was no throw by Gerald Laird. Billy Butler on first base wisely stayed there, because had he taken off, there's no doubt that Laird would have thrown him out at second. So the double play is still in order for Dontrell.
Podsednik, meanwhile, now 6 for 6. That's the 45th time in his career he has stolen third. Since breaking in the early 2000s. And there's a ball outside, 2-1 on Guillen.
Guillen was saying that by getting that ankle taken care of last offseason, he's now able to pull the baseball with authority. We saw that yesterday. He hit one 400 feet into the left field seats.
Well, as a hitter, Rod, I guess there's no worse injury to have than injuries to your legs because it affects your base so much.
Especially power guys. Especially your power guys. With no base, no legs, there's no bat speed to be generated. Now here's where Dontrelle could sink that two-seam fastball away from an aggressive Guillen, and he could get that 6-4-3 double play. Oh, he laid off of it.
He did it, but Guillen would not offer, and now the bases are loaded. Second walk in the inning for Willis. It's going to bring an early visit from Rick Knapp.
It was kind of looking like Dontrelle's start 5 days ago in Kansas City when he walked 2 of the first 4 hitters, but he was able to get out of that.
Willis got a double play in that first inning from Callaspo. 1 of 3 he had turned behind him in that game. And already 25 pitches thrown by Willis with only 1 out. Going to bring up Rick Ankiel. Top 2 teams offensively in the American League hooking up in this one. The Tigers are first in the league in team average. The Royals are second. Ankiel fouls it off 0-1. Really good though. The bases loaded career just a $161. He's got Setnik and Butler and Guillen on the bases.
There was a time when opposing managers would not put left-handed batters in their batting order against Dontrelle Willis. But Trey Helm and 3 of his first 5 hitters are left-handed.
Pretty much ignoring the numbers, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. In Dontrelle's career, he's held left-handed hitters to a .209 batting average. That's his career.
And he just missed outside there, 1-2.
That's what Laird will do once he's gotten 2 strikes, and it's a favorable count for he and Dontrelle. Then he will only go to the outside part of the plate. Other than that, he is right down the middle. Take a look at him jump late. He wants this to be a ball. He's hoping that Ankiel will offer it that pitch.
A 1-2. Well, you mentioned Dontrelle's numbers against lefties. And for managers, you know, they kind of have to weigh what a guy currently is doing to what he might have done in the past and how important those numbers really are. You're looking at career .209 against lefties, but this season, in that first start, they hit .500 against him.
Yeah, the left-handers in this Kansas City Royals lineup got quite a few hits against him, and one of the reasons why they did is because most of the lefties they have, other than Ankiel, they aren't power guys.
Tipped it into the glove for strike 3, and that's the first strikeout for Willis. 2 gone.
It's a good two-seam fastball right down the middle. Here it is, hit it. Ankiel pulled off of it.
So the bases stay loaded for Callaspo. Dontrelle trying to wiggle out of a first inning jam here. Callaspo looks at a strike. Hitting .200 was 0 for 4 in the ballgame yesterday. With the bases loaded, lifetime .304 with 1 grand slam. That's in the air toward left field and hit well on the move. Johnny Damon runs it down, and Willis pitches out of the first inning jam. Royals leave him loaded. Here come the Tigers. Our Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy today. It's Austin Jackson in the leadoff slot in center field. Johnny Damon is in left. Maglio Ordonez in right. Middle three features Cabrera, Guillen, and Brandon Inge, who has hit safely in all 7 this year. Gerald Laird, Scott Sizemore, Adam Everett to round out the Detroit starting lineup. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting reports on Brian Bannister. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
I don't know what it is with Brian, but he seems to pitch his best baseball in day games. He is 17-8 career during the day, and only 2 of his 18 outs the last time he faced the Tigers were on the ground. That's something he did not like. He wants to get the ball on the ground. He's very good at getting ground balls. And this may be what gets Johnny Damon going, the fact that he's been very good against Bannister in his career. He is 6-11 against Brian Bannister.
Well, we'll see if that transpires today. Austin Jackson leads it off. He'll be followed by Damon and then Maglio. Tigers sidestepping some trouble in that first as the Royals leave him loaded. It's a bouncing ball to short. Betancourt gobbles it up.
Let's take a look at the Royals defensively this afternoon behind Brian Bannister in the outfield. It's the way they usually line up with Pasetnik in left and Keel in center to Jesus in right. Teoscar at third. Betancourt, Bloomquist, Butler round out the infield. And is Jason Kendall going to catch 162 games this year?
He might. He's been out there every day so far. It truly is amazing. You know what? We know one thing for sure. If he stays healthy at the end of the year, he's probably going to catch 130.
At least 50. That's what he does every year.
It's amazing. But he's been out there. He's been a workhorse. Damon cuts and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bannister, 29 years old, out of Scottsdale. 7-game winner last year. Damon trying to get it going, 3 for 23 to start the year. And it looked like on opening day, Johnny Damon was going to have himself a good start to the year. He had a nice opening day against the Royals.
He's got a good count to hit in right now to get himself a real good fastball.
3-1. Damon has 2,428 career hits. There's a strike, 3-2. Slapped back to the screen. Damon also is 3rd among active players in career stolen bases with 374. So when you have the longevity that Johnny has had and has played a lot of games every year, the numbers will begin to pile up. And there's another walk. Well, the Tigers have a base runner. Damon is on. That brings up the big boys now. Maglio Ordonez steps in. Mags had his 6-game hitting streak snapped by the Royals yesterday, but still a very healthy 387. Swinging on the first pitch, he pops it up. Right side of the infield. Bloomquist to the ground. Two outs, and here comes Miguel Cabrera, the American League's Player of the Week. Hard to argue with these numbers, huh?
I'm sure it won't be the last time that he wins that award during the course of this year. He's already won 7 in his career, 3 as a Tiger.
5 for his last 10. Strike 1.
This much the Tigers do know. When Kendall is behind the plate, one of the things that he is trying to get this Kansas City young staff to do is throw strikes and throw fastballs. He calls a lot of fastballs, especially with Cabrera up.
Well, how much of an impact can a catcher like Kendall have with this staff, which is still, I guess, relatively young?
Well, I think he can have a huge impact. We've already watched that at least 2 times through their pitching rotation with Hochevar, and Bannister was outstanding in Kansas City last week as well.
Keeping a close eye on Johnny Damon at first base. Kendall has been around a long time. Caught a lot of games. The 0-1.
Kendall is like having another manager on the field if you're Trey Hillman. Of course, you have John Gibbons, who's the bench coach, who really helps out Trey Hillman down there on the bench, and I believe he relays the signs to Kendall. But Kendall, because he's been in the big leagues so long and is so good at knowing what's going on in the field, that's like having another manager out there.
The 1-1. Well, it's no coincidence that you see a lot of former managers go on, or former catchers rather, go on to manage. And here's that list of most games started. Kendall is behind some really, really good names. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back out of play. 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera. Bannister made 26 starts for the Royals last year. He missed the final month of the year with shoulder fatigue. Known as a ground ball pitcher, had the 9th best ground ball to fly ball ratio last season in the American League. Here's a high fly ball. Medium depth left field. We'll stay in the park easily. Podsetnik is under it to retire the side. Tigers going to walk and leave a man. 1 in the books. No score. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Welcome back to the ballpark. On a cool afternoon here at the yard. The lights are on. It's cloudy and overcast. We had some rain earlier today. The tarp was on the field. It's in great shape. And Dontrell Willis back to work as we go to the second in a scoreless game. Kendall Bloomquist and Yuniesky Betancourt facing the left-handed offerings of Mr. Willis. Jason Kendall, 333 this year. Hasn't hit a homer, and don't expect too many of those from him this season. Kendall 1 year went over 600 at bats without hitting a home run. That was in 2005. But he has over 2,000 hits. What a player he has been. Consistency. 2-1. In the air, right field. Ordonez is there. Kendall is retired. 1 gone.
Well, there's no doubt that Dontrell, one of the feel-good stories of 2010, at least for the first couple of weeks. Everywhere you go, people ask how Dontrell's doing. And really, the only people not rooting for Dontrell today, probably the Kansas City Royals. Everybody else in baseball is rooting for Dontrell Willis.
Yeah, the Royals would prefer to have an off day from Dontrell today.
Oh, no doubt.
Bloomquist, the batter.
That's one thing about baseball, though, and I know you've experienced it, Mario. Very, very close fraternity. Off the field, baseball players really care about one another.
The 0-1. Yeah, and it's not just amongst teammates, you know, and the way the game is these days, you know, every team probably has a guy or two that you've played with at some point.
Exactly.
1 ball, 1 strike on Bloomquist. 2-1. Well, the D train threw 32 pitches in that first inning. He had a couple of walks, but sidestepped it with a strikeout and a fly ball to end that frame. Bloomquist, a good utility man, playing second base in this game. Rolls one toward third, and Brandon Inge on the short hop.
It's a good play by Brandon. At that position, you only have but a split second to make up your mind what you're going to do. As soon as this ball's hit, Brandon recognizes, you know what, I got to charge this ball, even though it's going to create a bad hop for me because Bloomquist runs well. If I stay back and get the best hop that I want, he's going to be safe at first base. You don't have much time to decide at that position what you want to do.
Yudieski Betancourt looks at a strike.
Dontrelle looks good. I know he walked 2 in the first inning, but he has touched 94 miles an hour today with his fastball already. He's gone anywhere from 86 to 94 with his fastball.
Rolled to third again, right at Brandon. It's going to be a much easier inning for Dontrelle. 1, 2, 3, they go. Bottom of number 2 coming up. Scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the second. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. Willis had an easy 1-2-3 second inning. Much more conventional second inning. 42 pitches now for Dontrelle for the game. So just a 10-pitch second inning. Here's Carlos Guillen. Guillen, Inge, and Laird facing the right-hander Bannister. Well, we talked about yesterday the importance of Carlos getting it going offensively, and we are seeing signs now the last 2 games, on Sunday against the Indians and yesterday against the Royals. His bat's starting to perk up. He's 4 for his last 9. He homered in the ball game yesterday.
I believe the only question regarding Carlos Guillen is the fact that they need him to stay healthy, because when he's healthy, the bat's never been a question. But there has been some times where he has had some injuries and has not been able to get on the field. And even when he came back to play last year after a lengthy bout on the disabled list, he wasn't quite healthy. He could only bat left-handed. But he can hit when healthy.
Try to hold up. They will appeal. He held up. Another thing, too, I think we might see Carlos play more left field than we anticipated. He has played there a couple of times this year, and Jim Leland has alluded to the fact that he wants to keep both of them fresh, both Damon and Guillen. That's skied in the air toward left field, foul ground. charging hard is Podsednik. Kayaspo is there, though, and the third baseman makes the play. One out. We'll bring up Brandon Inge.
We've been talking a lot about Maglio and Miguel Cabrera, and rightfully so, but Inge has gotten off to a really nice start this year himself.
7-game hitting streak, 345 average. And Brandon, before the game today, when he was asked about his hot start, said, you know, it's just amazing how good it feels to have your legs under you again, because in that second half he did not. And more so offensively, he said it hurt him than defensively.
Oh, we can see that in the numbers for sure.
Yeah, there wasn't much secret.
The decline in numbers very evident with Brandon last year. Bannister not real fancy on the mound. He's got a 4-seam fastball. He'll cut the fastball. He'll sink it. Also a slider, curveball, and a changeup. Throws lots of ground balls when he's going good.
That's hit pretty well into right center. Ankiel coming over. Long way to make the catch. 2 gone.
Hey fans, here's a lineup of upcoming April in the D live events here on Fox Sports Detroit. On Wednesday, Tigers at Kansas City at 1 p.m. Pistons at Minnesota on FS+. Game 1, Red Wings at Phoenix at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. On Friday, Tigers at Seattle at 10. Game 2, Red Wings Phoenix at 10 as well on Fox Sports Detroit. Please note the schedule change for Friday with the Tigers game moving to Fox Sports Detroit Plus.
Gerald Laird, the batter, with 2 outs. Laird back behind the plate today. Avila caught yesterday. Gerald got his first hit of the season on Sunday against the Cleveland Indians.
I was talking to Gerald yesterday during batting practice. He feels like he's been taking some pretty good swings at the plate, just not getting rewarded with lots of base hits. But he's committed to the new batting stance that he has. He's going to stay with it.
Popped him up. Shallow center. Betancourt. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bannister. 2 in the books here at Comerica Park. DeJesus, Podsednik, Butler coming up. Brought to you by AT&T. See what's new at AT&T. Visit AT&T.com for details. And by GMC, we are professional grade. Well, whatever it takes to stay warm today. On a cool day here this afternoon at the ballpark. Scoreless game. As we go to the top of the third now, the Royals will have the top of the lineup to Jesus, Podsednik, and Butler facing Dontrell Willis. Tigers, for the most part, have had some clear weather the last couple of days, but it's never too cold to eat a hot dog, that's for sure. Willis back of the hill. DeJesus popped up. Starting the game, he's 0 for 1. And the D-Train throws a strike, 0-1. DeJesus, 3 for 7 in the series. Ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. We're talking to Jim Leland earlier today about Willis and his ability to repeat his delivery on a more consistent basis in that first start against Kansas City, and he feels that, you know, it's been a long time baseball thought that the taller pitchers have more difficulty repeating their delivery. But these days it's gotten to be different because most pitchers are a little bit better athletes these days. And so repeating the delivery has become a lot easier. But Leland said in his day he liked to have pitchers that were 6'1", 6'2". Of course, Willis is 6'4", 6'5", something in that area.
Well, Jim's not going to get any of those kind of pitchers, not from the Tigers, because everybody they got and everybody they draft is 6'4" and above.
But he will get good athletes, and they have been. Verlander, Porcello.
Willis himself is a very good athlete. And although it doesn't come into play in the American League, but a really good hitter when he played in the National League. Speaking of hitters, did you see where Edwin Jackson hit a home run a couple of days ago?
Yeah. It's fouled away, 3-2.
We knew Edwin was a good hitter anyway. Edwin was a pretty good high school hitter.
Three and 2 on David DeJesus. Drilled high in the air, deep into right field, way back. Ordonez turns his back, and it's gone. DeJesus hits his first of the season, and the Royals take a 1-0 lead.
Well, if you're Jim Leland and Rick Knapp, the pitching coach, you rather see Dontrelle throw that fastball right down the middle, 3 balls and 2 strikes, to see what DeJesus can do with it, versus putting him on with the free pass. DeJesus has just done a very nice job of seeing quite a few pitches today. You could see that ball down and in. Most left-handers love to hit the ball exactly where that last ball was thrown, and they usually don't miss it.
There's Scott Podsednik. Well, DeJesus didn't miss that one. That's his 4th hit in the series. 3rd RBI of the season. Podsednik walked, stole a base. Did not score back in the first.
Kansas City plays some really good baseball here at Comerica Park for whatever reason. They feel like they're right at home. Really, isn't it Kansas City that in 06 and last year, if you really look at it, they prevented the Tigers from winning a couple of division titles?
Absolutely. And the 06 season stands out as Podsednik gives this one a ride, but Jackson runs it down. And in that 06 season, remember that final 3-game series of the year?
Swept.
Yeah, swept here in Detroit.
Didn't they sweep the Tigers as well here last year in that final homestand?
Yep. And it's and equally as critical, I suppose, because the Tigers went on to tie in the regular season. Of course, had to play number 163 last year.
So it's been Kansas City really that's prevented the Tigers from winning a couple of division titles.
Here's Billy Butler.
And a lot of the damage they've done has been right here at Comerica Park.
Ball outside, 1-1 on Butler, who singled the opposite way back in the first. The 1-1 pitch. Two and 1 on Butler.
And this is not the kind of count that you like to be in against Billy Butler if you're throwing a fastball.
3-1. Willis has thrown 57 pitches, 32 of which have been strikes so far, and he misses with a ball. So that'll put a man on with 1 out. 3rd walkout for Dontrelle. Right now we send it back to the studio. Ryan Field has an update on the Yankees home opener against the Angels. All right. Thanks very much, Ryan.
Curtis Granderson going to like hitting in that ballpark.
Isn't he, though? In that lineup and in that ballpark. Here's Jose Guillen. Drilled to left field. Damon is on the move. Diving, can't get it. It'll get all the way to the wall. Butler is rumbling to third base, and they're going to stop him there. It's a double for Guillen, who remains red hot for the Royals.
That ball must have been knuckling on Johnny Damon, because when it left Guillen's bat, it looked like it was going to be caught, but as Damon got closer and closer to it, it looked like he was struggling to catch it.
Butler thought it might be caught, so he did not take off, and he ends up at third base. And that's going to bring up Rick Ankiel now with a chance to pad this Royals lead. They have scored in the home run by David DeJesus. Strike one on Ankiel, who fanned against Dontrell back in the first inning.
Now here's a situation where Jim Leyland more than likely would play the infield in if anybody else on the Royals was running but Butler at third. He still feels like with the depth that his infielders are playing, on a ball hit hard, if Butler takes off, they could still get that out at home plate.
The Royals in this series have gotten at least one man on base in every inning except the second inning today. That was the first time all series long they've gone down in order. Seems like they've had a threat every single inning, and they literally have. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got Ankiel to chase. Second strikeout for Dontrell.
You know, if they really wanted to get out of this inning, they would walk Callaspo. But with Dontrell having already walked three batters in this game, it's a very, very risky proposition. But Callaspo is a dangerous hitter. Even though he's hitting 192, you don't really want to mess with him. But if you're Jim Leyland, how can you load the bases with Dontrell out there?
Can't do it. No, I agree with you. Not only that, but you also have a guy with 2,000 big league hits in the on-deck circle, too.
Yeah, but I don't think he's worried about him as much as he is Callaspo.
He got Callaspo to fly out, which ended the inning in the first, and he skies this one back out of play.
No disrespect to Jason Kendall. I like him as a player, but Callaspo is much more dangerous a hitter.
Callaspo last year hit 300. Knocked in 73, showed a little bit of power. The 0-1. Ground ball, base hit left field, right through the hole. This will get one run in, maybe two, and it will. Guillen will come around to score along with Butler, and Callaspo has made it a 3-0 game for the Royals.
Well, I know Jim wanted to put him on, but he just couldn't do it. Sometimes situations in the game dictate what you can do as a manager, and in that case, he could not walk Callaspo.
Callaspo now with his third and fourth RBIs of the year. That is the fourth hit of the game for KC. As Butler and Guillen come around. Here's Kendall. Kendall flied to right field his first time up. 2 for 6 in the series against Tigers pitching. Willis, who threw 32 pitches in that first, is now about ready to deliver his 25th pitch here in the third. And it's a strike. 1-1. Backed him out of there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kendall signed a 2-year deal in December to take over the catching duties for Kansas City. One of those old school players. No batting gloves. Ball inside. 3-1 on chilly days. I wonder about those guys that don't wear batting gloves.
There's only a few of them in the big leagues. Jorge Posada doesn't wear batting gloves. We'll see Vladimir Guerrero next week in Texas. He doesn't wear batting gloves. I can't think of anybody else that doesn't wear batting gloves other than those 3 players.
There's the strike. Yeah, of current guys, I can't either. No, Mark Grace didn't.
He didn't wear batting gloves.
3-2, which means Callaspo will be on the move. And there he goes. Bouncing ball to third, deep behind the bag. In shoots him down to retire the side, but a big inning for the Royals. They get 3, and it's 3-0 KC. Bottom of the third, 3 runs, 4 hits for KC. Tigers still looking for their first hit. Dontrell through 3 innings has given up 3 runs, 3 walks. And he has struck out Ankiel a couple of times for his 2 strikeouts. Scott Sizemore leading it off, trying to get the Tigers offense going here. Sizemore, Everett, and then Austin Jackson. Ball 1 from Bannister.
Bannister had a start against the Tigers last week where the majority of the outs the Tigers made were in the air. And that theme has continued today.
Meanwhile, speaking of themes, Sizemore is still hitting the ball well.
He got himself in a really nice count, an 84-mile-per-hour pitch that he just got out in front of, and it was seed to left field.
It's his 5th hit of the homestand. He is perked up.
Looks like he's getting more comfortable. It's a changeup, a 1-0 changeup. And a lot of times you speed the hitter's bat up in a fastball count. If you throw a changeup and make a mistake with it, it's usually going to get hit hard. But if you bounce it or get it down, you got a chance of getting a swing and miss.
Adam Everett pops up the first pitch. Right to the second baseman, Bloomquist. 1 out.
Hey fans, groups have more fun at Tigers games. Group tickets, picnics, party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discount tickets to select games while Supplies last. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
Here's Austin Jackson. Jackson bounced out in the first inning. On base 6 times in his last 2 games. And hitting over 300 to start the year. 303 for Austin. Sizemore back. Sizemore last year in the minor leagues stole 21 bases, caught just 4 times. In fact, double digits just about every year in the minors in that category. The 2-0.
Well, we watched the game a couple of days ago where the Cleveland Indians put a 5 spot on the board in the first inning. And that didn't stop the Tigers from running in that game. I believe it was Austin Jackson who took off in the bottom half of that inning and stole a base for Detroit, even though they were down by 5 against the Indians.
Wave and a miss. 2-2. Jim Leland says he's very happy with what he's seen out of Austin Jackson so far, both offensively and defensively. And the one thing he said was, I didn't realize how fast he was, how good of a runner he is. And, you know, you have scouting reports, you talk to people that have seen him play, but until you actually watch him go first to third, you have no idea how fast he can really move.
He's a special talent.
And so far has gotten some pretty good jumps on balls out in center field in this ballpark. There's a strike call. Got him looking.
That's a good pitch and a good call by Kendall. Every other fastball was outside to Jackson. Jackson has set his sights on the outside part of the plate and gets frozen by a good firm fastball, 4-seam variety, right on the inner third of home plate.
So with 2 outs, here's Johnny Damon. Damon walked in the first inning. Tigers picked up their first hit in this frame. The leadoff single by Sizemore. He's still standing at first base. Ball down low, 1-1. Bannister pitched at Southern California. Won a couple of Pac-10 championships with the Trojans. He really didn't get to pitching until later on as a youth. In fact, he was a second baseman and a shortstop in high school. He walked on to USC, made the team, began pitching there, and lo and behold, here he is in the big leagues as a big league pitcher. High fly ball hit well to right field. DeJesus going back to the warning track. And Damon falls short. 3 innings in the books. Tigers fail to score. Bloomquist betting for DeJesus coming up. AT&T trivia question on this date in 1954. What American League team played their very first game right here in the Motor City? Answer coming up a little bit later on. That's your trivia for today. Meanwhile, Willie Bloomquist will lead things off here at the ballpark. It'll be Bloomquist, Betancourt, and DeJesus.
You got to be on your toes when Bloomquist is in that batter's box. He's a gamer. He likes to bunt for hits as well. And you can see Inge down there in third base. He's in his ready stance to field the bunt.
There's a strike called. 0-1 on Bloomquist. 0 for 5 so far this year. One and one. Willie played 7 years with Seattle. 7 pretty good years. Played a lot of different positions, including the outfield. 1-1 pitch.
Bloomquist played more last year than any year in his big league career, and had a very nice season for the Kansas City Royals. Very valuable member of their 25-man roster.
Two and two. Betancourt to follow, then DeJesus. Just stays alive. Dontrell had 71 pitches through 3 innings. Gave up the home run to DeJesus, then the 2-out single to Callaspo. Royals have put up 4 hits in this game. Again, the 2-2. And another foul back out of play. A little bit of a breeze blowing here this afternoon. Cloudy skies remain here at the ballpark, which has kept the temperature cool today. It's supposed to be a nice day tomorrow if you're thinking about coming out to the ballpark for the final game of this series here. Bouncing ball slowly towards second. Sizemore to throw out Bloomquist.
While we have a moment, I'd like to send out a birthday wish to Nolan Steele, who is 9 years old today. Nolan is the son of Tyson Steele, who works down on the home side in the clubhouse with Jim Schmeichel. Tyson's been in the Tigers organization for 20 years. 16 of those years spent under Schmeichel as the clubhouse attendant. So happy birthday, Nolan.
Happy birthday indeed, Nolan. You know what? I've got a birthday wish of my own here. To a member of our Fox family, Tom Hughes, who runs our camera out in center field. His wife Lori is celebrating a birthday today, so happy birthday, Lori. It's a birthday kind of day.
Yes, it is.
It's a base hit for Yuniesky Betancourt.
Happy birthday, Lori and Nolan.
That'll bring up David DeJesus. Did you bring a birthday cake?
Not today.
No,
not today.
We should have thought ahead.
Just the wishes.
DeJesus homered back in the third.
Trey Hillman is kind of faced with a difficult dilemma. I guess you could call it difficult, because DeJesus hits best when he's leading off, but he's really not a true base stealer. And you've got a guy who's a very good base stealer and a true leadoff hitter who's batting second. But every time Trey Hillman tries to bump DeJesus down to the number 3 spot or the number 2 spot, he doesn't perform as well as he does in the leadoff spot.
Well, it does make you wonder when you have a guy like Podsednik and the way he runs and the way he has the ability to put the ball in play and stir some things. Why not bat him leadoff? But apparently there's your answer.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Callaspo, too, who at the beginning of the year was batting third for Kansas City and batted third last year. But most of his success came as a number 6 hitter. He just hasn't performed all that well in that 3 spot. So he puts him down to 6, and he comes up with a big base hit here today.
Strike on DeJesus.
Funny game.
David has also been a big triples producer. In fact, he is 9th all time in the Royals list with 42 career triples. I don't know, but I would imagine, I'll have to look this up, but I would imagine Willie Wilson is near the top of that list.
For sure.
Quick throwback.
Probably the fastest man that I ever witnessed on a baseball field, Willie Wilson.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely. Willie Wilson could fly. He had world-class speed.
Oh and 1. There's a strike on to Jesus. 0 and 2. David still has that streak of 159 consecutive errorless games.
Here's where Dontrell can really expand the strike zone down and away. Good pitch.
See you later to Jesus. Third strikeout.
You can't throw a better pitch if you're left-handed away from your arm side on the outside corner than he just threw right there to DeJesus. DeJesus could do nothing with that pitch.
By the way, George Brett is their all-time triples leader. And then Wilson. And then Amos Otis. Their top three. Here's Podsednik. Walk, stolen base, and a fly ball. 0 for 1 for Podsednik. Wouldn't chase. 1 and 1. Talking yesterday, Rod, about the length of the game. It was about a 3.5-hour game before it was done, and Leland was talking about that. Of course, he's on that committee that Bud Selig has put together about one of the things they're trying to do is quicken up the pace of the game. There's a bouncing ball right side. It's through. A base hit out of the reach of Scott Sizemore. Motoring all the way to third is Betancourt, and he is in there standing up.
Podsednik is on a mission. So what did Jim have to say about yesterday's game?
Well, Jim said, you know, it's more about moving the pace along than worrying about time of game. And he says the way the game has just kind of evolved, there's not really a whole lot you can do. You know, I mean, you can ask guys to stay in the batter's box a little bit longer. Maybe intentional walks just give the guy first base. But really, how much time is that going to save you? How many intentional walks are there? But it's more about, you know, keeping guys in a better pace in the game. But so many guys step out of the box now. So many pitchers step off the mound. You know, they've even asked managers to jog out to the mound when they want to talk to their pitchers. But it's going to be difficult. One of the challenges they have to try and quicken the pace. There's a ground ball hit sharply to second. Booted by Sizemore. He'll recover, though, and throw out Butler. Side retired. They threaten, do not score. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. first round of the NHL playoffs. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, it's the Royals over the Tigers 3-0.
And Tigers may want to get more aggressive on first pitch fastballs. Bannister has thrown a lot of them, but the majority of the fastballs that he has thrown the first pitch have been belt buckle or higher, and that's the reason why he's gotten so many pop-ups in this game today.
Ordonez, followed by Cabrera, and then Guillen. Hammered to center field. And Keel.
Last year, Bannister ninth best in the American League at inducing ground balls to fly ball ratio. But so far in the 2 starts he's had this year, he has thrown a lot of fly balls, and of course both of those starts have been against Detroit.
Of course, being a fly ball pitcher in this ballpark isn't all that bad, especially if you keep the ball to center field. There's a strike, 0-1.
Gets a lot of real estate out there. You got to be a man to get over that 420 sign.
Well, here's a guy that can do it and has done it. This is popped in the air. Shallow right field to Jesus, charging hard. Sliding catch.
He was the only one that was going to make that play. Bloomquist had no shot. Billy Butler at first gave up on it. And DeJesus was playing so deep in right field, respecting the power of Cabrera. He had to come in and make a sliding grab.
Two down for Carlos Guillen.
Another fly ball.
Yeah, there you go. He's starting to pile up. Only one Tigers hit today. That was a single by Sizemore to lead off the third. Strike one to Guillen. Bit outside. 2-1 on Carlos. 4 out of 10 on the homestand now for the Tigers. Lifted toward left, coming toward the corner. Podsednik. Will he have room? Yes. Basket catch. 8-pitch inning for Bannister. He got 3 fly balls. The Tigers go in order. 4 innings in the books. It'll be Guillen and Keel and Callaspo on the way. Detroit is brought to you by the Romani Eye Institute, the most trusted name in eye care. And by your neighborhood Spartan store. For locations, visit turntospartan.com. Fifth inning now here at Comerica Park. Glad to have you with us this afternoon. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, along with Mark Isofano, our producer, Brian Moss, our director today, in a 3-0 game. Royals on top. And KC coming to the plate in the fifth inning with Jose Guillen. He'll be followed by Rick Ankiel and then Alberto Callaspo. Guillen with a double and a walk. He has also scored a run. And up high is Willis, 2-0.
Dangerous count here for Guillen, especially the way that he's been swinging the bat the last couple of days. He's homered 3 times, all 3 home runs to left field.
Two and one. Jose Guillen has played now for 9 different major league teams. This is his 9th, and he is in the final year of his 3-year contract. Lifted to right field and hit well. On the move is Ordonez. Still going back. He'll turn on it, and it's gone. And they can't stop Jose Guillen.
And he usually does not do that. He does not usually play long ball against the track, and that would be the right field. But he did that time. Dontrell did not make a bad pitch there, but Guillen simply went with it because he knew that Dontrell was not going to come inside. 4 home runs in his last 3 games for Guillen. It's a 2-seam fastball. It's down, it's away, and somehow he gets enough of this one to hit it out of here. That was not that bad a pitch.
Second long ball of the game now for Kansas City. DeJesus has the other. Ankiel has had his troubles today. 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts against Willis. 2-0. Ankiel was signed as a free agent this past January. Lifts this one on the infield. Who wants it? Willis, Flair. One gone. So Ankiel now 0 for 3. He's going to bring up Callaspo, who banged in 2 with a 2-run single in the 3rd. Action in the Detroit bullpen. Joel Zumaya starting to warm up. Thing the Tigers had hoped to do is get their starting pitchers to go a little bit deeper into games. The bullpen has been asked to get a few more outs than Jim Leyland would like here in the early going. Bouncing ball left side, deep in the hole. Everett, gotta be a tough play. His jump throw not in time. They almost got him. But Callaspo beats it out with an infield hit.
Adam Everett did as much as he could. He grabs the ball and throws off that left foot back across his body and just could not get enough on the throw. Great stretch by Cabrera, but Callaspo just safe.
Here's Jason Kendall. 8 hits for KC now. Talking about Kendall not wearing any batting gloves. Mark Isofano, our producer, did some digging.
He did some digging.
He found a great story about one of the first guys to wear batting gloves. Hawk Harrelson,
really,
currently television announcer for the Chicago White Sox back in '63. Apparently the Hawk played 27 holes of golf one day. He was a rookie.
Well, that's not uncommon for Hawk.
No, that's true. With the Kansas City Athletics, he figured, I'm not playing today. He got to the ballpark, he had to play. And he had some blisters on his hands, so he went back in the locker room, pulled out a golf glove from his pants, and used it as a batting glove. Soft liner over the head of Scott Sizemore. That'll put 2 men on.
And that's where the batting gloves were born?
Apparently that was the origin. And in his first at bat against Whitey Ford, he hit a homer against him. So the batting glove apparently became real popular then.
Well, I wonder if he put a patent on it.
I don't know.
He should have.
That's a good question.
He sure should have. He'd be rich now.
See, that's your marketing mind, man. Just working overtime.
Why not?
Here's Bloomquist.
Royals had a boatload of hits yesterday, and they're picking up today where they left off yesterday.
Nine hits now for KC as Bloomquist sends it back out of play.
Dontrelle closing in on the century mark as far as pitches thrown here today. Max Scherzer threw 100 pitches yesterday as well in 5 innings.
Getting back to Leland's plea of getting his starters to go a little bit longer and not getting to that bullpen as early as they have been. Tigers today have been out hit 9-1. Royals lead 4-0. They've hit 2 homers. One ball, one strike. And there you have it, 100 pitches. See, the 32 pitch first inning was the longest for Dontrelle. To the shortstop, they might get 2. No. Back in time is Carrasco. The second baseman, I should say. That was Sizemore, who tried to get the double play but couldn't quite get it.
Callejon must have had a difficult time of reading that ball because it looked like, because the ball was not hit all that sharply, he had plenty of time to get back to the bag.
Exmo says
Safe.
Brian Onora right on top of it. Here's Betancourt. Ooh, ugly looking swing there. Betancourt looked like a pretzel.
Betancourt was looking for that fastball and got a breaking ball and almost screwed himself into the ground.
Here's the 0-1. Everybody in the lineup for the Royals with at least 1 hit, with the exception of Bloomquist and Ankiel. One and one on Yuniesky Betancourt. Hit a 2-run homer in the opener of the season this year. Runners go and a bouncing ball to short. Adam Everett to retire the side, but they get another run and a homer by Guillen. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. I told you whatever it takes to stay warm here today. Here's our AT&T trivia question. On this date in 1954, what American League team played their very first game right here in Detroit? And the answer would be the Baltimore Orioles, a 3-0 loss to the Tigers. Brandon Inge leads it off for Detroit. And Rod, do you know who was at the microphone for the Orioles that day?
No, I do not. Who was at the mic?
The great
Ernie Harwell.
Ernie Harwell.
Really?
He was indeed. In his Orioles days, and then of course he came to Detroit and became an icon here.
Now, wasn't Ernie traded for a player?
Yeah, and the player Ernie would kill me if you heard me not remember the player's name.
Well, I'm sorry,
I should know this.
No, you don't have to, but I think he's the only broadcaster that's ever been traded for a player.
Oh, it just came to me, Cliff Dapper.
Oh, okay.
It miraculously came to me.
Now you know you're good when you're a broadcaster and you get traded for a player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, Ernie's the greatest. All right, Tigers get their second hit. Brandon Inge is on. Gerald Laird popped up his first time, 0 for 1. There's a strike. 0-1. Gerald snapped the 0 for 18 on Sunday, his only hit so far this season.
And one of the reasons why Lloyd McClendon decided on helping Gerald Laird develop a new batting stance was the fact that Gerald last year had a tough time of staying back and a lot of times would lunge forward as the ball was coming home. And when you lunge forward as a hitter, your hands usually come with you, and that causes the back shoulder to drop, which gives you lots of pop-ups. He has started to pop up quite a bit here in the early goings of the season, which means he's starting to drift forward with his body again. So one of the keys for him is to realize that now I have this new stance where I'm resting the bat on my shoulders comfortably. That's why they do it, to keep him back. But he's not been able to stay back very well here in the first few games of the year. There's only a few hitters when your body comes forward that are able to keep their hands back. Most guys, when they lunge forward, they take their hands with them, and that decreases your bat speed.
Runner going here, and it's grounded foul.
I like that call. It could have been a hit and run. Probably was a hit and run down by 4. And a lot of times as a manager, when you've got a player that's somewhat struggling, you take all the guesswork out of the game for him and you put the hit and run on, which forces the hitter into swinging the bat. Therefore, Gerald, think about nothing but putting the ball in play.
2-2 on Laird. Tipped it into the glove, and no, they're going to say it's a foul ball. Kendall showed it to the home plate umpire, Guccione, who wasn't buying.
Nice sell job by Jason.
It was. He showed it to him immediately.
That was a good pitch, too, by Bannister. To see the dirt kick up.
Good call by Guccione. Again, the 2-2. Again in the air. Shallow right center. Here comes Ankiel. One gone.
Hey fans, the Tigers offer the best value in sports with $5 tickets, $5 parking, and $5 kids and adult meals. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
One out for Sizemore. Had a base hit back in the third. In the air to right field, hit well. DeJesus back right in front of the wall to make the play. Sizemore hit the ball hard again, so he is 1 for 2 now. 2 gone. That leaves it up to Adam Everett.
Bannister doing a very nice job today with his first pitch strikes. He is 12 of 17, which means after he gets ahead of you, and Jason Kendall could move to the inside corner, the outside corner, and the Tigers have gotten very little hit to hit today. He's at it again.
Wow. That really is amazing.
Fly outs galore.
for a ground ball pitcher.
Well, he's throwing lots of fastballs right around the belt buckle, and a lot of times those balls are difficult to get on top of.
There's a ground ball hit slowly towards short. Betancourt will get the force. Sad retired. Everett is gone. So are the Tigers. 5 innings have been played here at the ballpark.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. We're going to take you back to the 3rd inning. It was a bullet. Hit the left field off the bat of Jose Guillen. Looked like Damon had a beat on it, but the ball must have been knuckling on him and right over the outstretched glove of Johnny Damon. Coors Light Freeze Cam always brought to you by your Frost Brew Coors Light.
Dontrelle Willis done for the afternoon. He goes 5, gives up 9 hits, 4 runs, walked 3, struck out 3, 104 pitches this afternoon for the D-Train. And he will give way to the Tigers bullpen now. Joel Zumaya will take over. And the top of the order coming up, it'll be DeJesus, Podsednik, and Butler. Zumaya pours in a fastball down low. Walsat Windows pitching change. Here are the numbers on Joel.
Not often you'll see Zumaya in a game in the 6th and when the Tigers are losing, but that is what Jim Leland is faced with here today. After the last couple of starters only pitched 5 innings of middle relief, has had to pitch quite a bit. Zumaya, one of those guys that usually when the Tigers are winning, he'll be getting the ball in the 7th or the 8th, along with Ryan Perry trying to get the ball to Valverde.
Zumaya is still just 25 years old. Appeared in 29 games last year, 21 the year before that. Of course, his rookie season was his best season, in which he appeared in 62 games. That's rolled to second base. Sizemore throws him out, and right now we send it back to the studio. Ryan Field has some more highlights and info on that Yankees-Angels game. Ryan. All right, Ryan, thank you. Well, the old Yankee Stadium was the house that Ruth built. Maybe the new Yankee Stadium, the house that Jeter built.
It ought to be.
Right back to the mound. Hey, they're going to get Podsednik out. How about that? That'll work. 2 gone. Well, when you look at that East, Rod, the Blue Jays have gotten off to a pretty good start at 5-2. The Yankees came in at 4-2, but I know a lot of people are picking the Red Sox. I still think the Yankees are probably the class of that division.
Well, it's between the 2 teams for sure. The Red Sox and the Yankees. Toronto's off to another good start as they were last year, but then they started to struggle when they started playing games within their division. But I'm a huge fan of Cito Gastins and wish him all the success in the world. this is his last year as a manager before he moves upstairs in Toronto's organization.
Butler here with 2 outs. Billy a single and a walk in this game.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Twins opened up their new ballpark yesterday afternoon with a win, and a big win for them.
Twins are 6-2.
I watched that game.
Did you?
Place is beautiful.
Is it?
Target Field is beautiful.
Can't wait to get there. I think we'll go there in May. The 1-1. Hammer down the right field line. Going to slice, though.
The applause for Joe Mauer was so loud and so long that Mauer said he was embarrassed.
Well,
but how could it not be?
You know, in many ways, that ballpark is one of the reasons, if not the reason, that Minnesota was able to give him that deal.
For sure. They have already sold over 3 million tickets, have the Minnesota Twins, in their inaugural year in their new ballpark.
Slap to center field. Jackson backs off and plays it on 1 hop. Butler with another hit.
Hey fans, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live here from manager Jim Leyland and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
There's another guy they're having trouble getting out. It's Jose Guillen. He has a walk, a double, and a homer in this game, and 2 long balls in the series. Zamaya pours in a fastball strike.
That new Call Sam Studios that we have at Fox Sports Detroit is
sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Nice.
The 0-1. 1-1 on Guillen. Four home runs for Guillen on the season. Two and 1 the count. Talking about that rookie season of Zamaya's, in which he appeared in 62 games. His ERA his rookie year was 1.94, and you might remember that Joel in the minor leagues was basically a starter his first couple of years in the minors. That's drilled in the air, shallow right field, and Maglio is there to retire the side. So Zamaya pitches through the 6th. Still 4-0. Is sitting on top. They've out-hit the Tigers 10-2 so far in this game. Here's the upcoming schedule. You can see after tomorrow's game, there's an off day on Thursday, which the Tigers will spend traveling out to the West Coast.
Tough schedule. But the players are looking forward to getting out west and playing some night games and, you know, getting all the opening day hoopla behind them and all that sort of things that you go through at the beginning of the season. They're looking forward to playing a few night games, getting on their regular schedule.
Yeah, a little bit more normalcy, although you lose the 3 hours, so that'll take some getting used to, at least initially. And then you come back home and do it all over again.
Because what, Tigers have played, what, one night game? And that was in Kansas City, right?
Right.
Yeah, so every game a day game. And the players are looking for some normalcy, which would be playing some night games.
Here's the 1-1. I guess technically you gain 3 hours when you go out west, but you get the idea. Your body clock is all messed up. You got the Angels, you got Seattle on that trip, you got Texas. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boston Jackson leading it off, then Johnny Damon and Maglio Ordonez.
Seattle surprisingly is off to one of the worst starts they've ever had.
Deep behind the bag at third is Callaspo. Jackson is out.
Callaspo showed some arm strength there from third base. Some nice arm strength, as a matter of fact. He made 17 errors last year at second base and hit over 300, so they had to keep his bat in the lineup, and they wanted Jose Guillen to DH, so they had to find a new spot for Callaspo. But what do they do when Alex Gordon comes back and he's healthy?
Very good question.
And the way that Jose Guillen is swinging the bat.
Strike one on Johnny Damon.
I guess it's a pleasant problem to have if you're Trey Hill.
Bannister working at a quick pace in this one and really has been very economical. 60 pitches through 5 innings.
The Tigers have not been able to do anything with Bannister in 2 starts, nor did they really get to Hochevar yesterday either.
Damon today with a fly ball and a walk.
We were kind of mentioning the fact that Greinke would not pitch in this series, and the Tigers were happy about that. But Bannister and Hochevar have handcuffed him as well.
They'll face Davies tomorrow in that series finale. Rick Porcello will throw for Detroit. The 2-2. Damon takes strike 3. He's punched out of there by Chris Guccione. Johnny, little silent protest at home plate.
The ball caught a little bit of the plate. I think what Johnny may have been questioning there was the height of the pitch.
Here's Ordonez.
For the most part, Bannister has thrown fastball after fastball. He's cutting it, he's running it, he's sinking it. But the majority of his pitches today have been fastballs.
You were talking, Rod, about playing all these day games in a row, and the Tigers, every game here on this homestand, all 6 day games. That does kind of upset what you're used to as a ball player, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're looking forward to, getting out on the road, hanging out with your teammates. Not that you don't do that with your families. I mean, these guys absolutely cherish their families, and most families come up for opening day, but then the kids have to go back home and go to school until school's out, and then most of these guys are able to spend some time with their families during the course of the summer. So they're looking forward to getting out and sleeping during the day and getting up late and coming to the ballpark at 1 o'clock for batting practice versus getting up every day at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock for some guys.
Which for so many years is what the Chicago Cubs would do in all their home games. They played every home game during the day.
That's a tough city to try to play all those day games in.
Why do you say that?
Well, if you don't like to go home at night, boy, it could be a long year.
1-0 on Cabrera.
And them streets call you in Chicago, too.
They scream at you, actually. There's a chopper hit to third. Callaspo will field it in foul ground. 1-1 on Cabrera. Miguel 0 for 2, couple of fly balls. The American League's Player of the Week last week, in which he hit .522. Tigers still haven't had a man in scoring position in this game against Bannister. Two and 1. Cabrera reaches. Guillen would be next. Joel Zumaya came on for an inning of work in relief of the starter Willis. Rolled foul again. Quietly, that may be one of the bigger stories, I think, in the early going for Detroit. The production they've gotten out of Joel Zumaya, because honestly, they weren't sure where Joel was in terms of rehabbing and all the injuries, but he's looked good. He looked good at the end of camp.
Yeah, they were a little bit concerned. The fact that he was throwing with a lot of velocity, but wasn't getting many outs in spring training. But as soon as they started playing for real, Joel got busy and has been doing a real nice job. And speaking of getting busy, Bannister's been getting busy too.
To the tune of 3 strikeouts. Sandkill, Kayaspo, Kendall coming up. D here at the ballpark. Tigers and Royals today. KC trying to make it 2 straight. They lead 4-0 as we head to the 7th inning.
Now, how do we get on a sign with Cabby and Mags and Zumaya and Inge? Are we going that good, partner?
We are not worthy, but we'll take it. There's a strike called on Ankiel. That's some, as you like to say, tall cotton.
Yes, indeed.
Big time names. Ankiel is 0 for 3, one of the few Royals that has not been able to do a whole lot, or anything for that matter, at least in this game. There's the strike, 0-2.
How about Zumaya throwing 100 miles an hour? He throws a breaking ball to Ankiel. If he throws another breaking ball, as a hitter, you just tip your hat and you just go sit down, because you're looking for that fastball at 100 miles an hour. That's the only thing you can look for against Joel, and he got it.
Whistled into right field, base hit.
Ooh.
Turned around 99.
Didn't he though? That's what they say up here. The big league hitters can turn around a bullet if it's straight. He threw him a breaking ball for the first 2 strikes and came back with a fastball that Gerald wanted up, and it kind of leaked down. And we've already documented the fact that Ankiel, because he held his hands so low when in the batter's box, you can throw a fastball by him if you locate it, but that one was a good one for him to hit.
Here's Kayaspo. 11 hits for Kansas City in this game. 11 of them. And yesterday they had 15 hits. 2 singles today for Kayaspo.
Kayaspo had one of the biggest at-bats of the game. Came in a situation where Jim probably would have liked to walk him. It was 2 outs and there was a base open. He's one of their better hitters, but the last thing that he wanted to do was put that kind of pressure on Dontrell by walking the bases loaded. But that would have been the right call under most circumstances. Kayaspo singled and drove in both runs.
Kayaspo hit 3rd in the lineup yesterday, and that's where we saw him basically back in Kansas City as well when he played. He was dropped down to 6th today, so he gives them a little bit of punch toward the bottom of the lineup.
He performs better in the 6th spot in Trey Hillman's lineup. Does not perform very well when batting 3rd for whatever reason.
3-1.
Some guys put more pressure on themselves when they're batting 3rd opposed to batting 6th. You think you have to do more because the manager's rewarded you by, putting you in what some people believe is the spot where your best hitter hits, number 3.
Lifted in the air toward left. Damon started back. Now he recovers. One gone.
Hey fans, our next April and the D Tigers telecast is tomorrow with the final game of this series against the Royals. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 1 o'clock. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit and in high def on Fox Sports Detroit HD.
Kyle Davies, Rick Porcello, your matchup tomorrow.
You're on the pregame show tomorrow, aren't you? What do you have in store for us?
We're going to talk about Kyle Davies. We're going to talk about Adam Everett.
Ooh.
They are products of the East Cobb Baseball Club down in Georgia, which is kind of a little niche area in the Atlanta area that has produced a lot of big leagues.
Dude, where'd you get that info from?
Well, I dug that up myself.
Look at you.
Yeah, I didn't need any help on that.
Can't wait. Can't wait to tune in. 12:30 tomorrow.
You are a salesman. Tune in tomorrow. We'll tell you all about East Cobb Baseball. That has produced a lot of big leaguers, including the Tigers' own Adam Everett. Jason Kendall, the batter. Runner goes, and a big jump, and a bouncer to 3rd. Inge on the charge. Off balance throw. Safe. It was dropped by Cabrera. He couldn't hold on to it, juggled it.
I'm not sure if that ball hit him in the glove on the air or if it bounced, but it looked like it hit him in the glove on the air. You can see Inge pointing over to Cabrera. No problem. No sweat. Cabrera will tell you himself that ball should have been caught.
They ruled it a base hit. Giving the Royals 12 hits. So it keeps the inning going now with a much different look with 2 men on. Here's Bloomquist. Breaking ball is in for a strike.
One thing about Zamaya, any jam that he creates for himself, he has the ability to pitch himself out of traffic.
See if this one gets back out of play. Cabrera sliding over there. Can't quite make the play. 0-2 on Bloomquist. Willie today is hitless, 0 for 3. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Chase the heat. Zamaya's first strikeout. 2 outs. Here's Yuniesky Betancourt.
Comcast is telling us that Joel Zamaya has touched 99 in this game and has gone as low as 79 with his breaking ball. 20-mile-per-hour differential between the 2 pitches.
The Breaking ball strike.
That's a good pitch for him if he can do exactly what he did with it to Betancourt and Bloomquist. If you can start him off with the first pitch strike breaking ball, then that really helps you in the remainder of the at-bat. Because now, all of a sudden, if you're Betancourt, you're thinking possibly another breaking ball, and that's when you can't catch up to the 99-mile-per-hour fastball. It's good to see him working on that breaking ball. He's thrown about 5 or 6 of them here today in the 28 pitches he's thrown.
I was about to say, we're not used to seeing Joel throw this many breaking balls.
It's a good day to work on it.
Hit the other way. It's a fair ball down the right field line. Here comes Ankiel rounding third. They'll wave him home, and he'll score. It's an RBI hit for Betancourt.
You know, that's kind of the point that I was making in spring training regarding Joel when, you know, the Tigers were talking about the fact that he really needed to throw that breaking ball to be successful. But as opposing hitter and a former player standpoint, you don't care how many breaking balls Zumaya throws you. You're still going to look for your fastball because he throws 100 miles an hour. 2 straight breaking balls to Betancourt. This is not a bad fastball, although it's up, but it's outside. And he's late on it, but he's able to hit a solid single to right field because he was looking for the fastball.
Well, he has just picked up his 3rd RBI of the year, 2nd hit today, and he's now had 4 hits in the series. So Betancourt doing some damage.
All those RBIs have probably come against the Tigers because he plays his best baseball against Detroit. Betancourt over a 300 batter against Detroit in his career.
And he'll move up on a ball that gets away from Laird. Action in the Tigers bullpens. The 2nd inning of work for Zumaya. Phil Koch, the left-hander, tuning up. Seen him a lot already this year, so he's on his way to another 70-plus appearance season if he can stay healthy. He'll be used quite a bit out of the Tigers' pen. Wild pitch on that last pitch, the ruling. Here's another bender, missing eye. This is easily more breaking balls than we have seen Zumaya throw, I think, in any appearance, period. 2-0. DeJesus homered in the 3rd, 1 for 4. Another one. On 2-0.
If he has enough confidence in throwing another breaking ball, if he throws it for a strike, I'd be shocked if DeJesus swings at it because DeJesus, no question, is looking for a fastball.
Threw him another one, and it's rolled to second base. This will end the inning, but the Royals add another. And as we go to the stretch here at Comerica Park, it's now 5-0. The bottom of the 7th, it is 5-0 in favor of the Kansas City Royals. A reminder, we are in the home stretch for the 2010 census. It's not too late. Fill out and mail back your census form today. All right, look at that. It's always good when somebody puts my head on Super Mario's body. One strike is the count on Carlos Guillen. It'll be Guillen, Inge, and Laird.
No, I think it's funnier when they drop a Luigi on me, though.
Yeah, you're right there. That's much funnier, actually.
At least your name is Mario.
You've never been confused with a Luigi, have you?
No. I told you I have a cousin named Luigi, though.
That's true.
I do.
I'm still questioning that.
No, that's a known fact.
I'll look it up. 1-1 on Guillen. Well, the Tigers have not been able to really figure out Bannister today. He has surrendered just 3 hits.
And if you weren't with us earlier, we talked about the fact that by and large he has gotten it done with just an assortment of well-located fastballs that he has gotten a lot of the Tigers today to at least pop up on. But he did as much last week in Kansas City. He has not changed from the way that he pitched the Tigers in that start. And a lot of times that's what pitchers will do, especially when facing a team back-to-back starts, is you don't change if you had success against them until they make some adjustments.
Bannister trying to work quickly here. Guillen fouled that last pitch off his foot. Despite all the protection he had, he fouls that one away. There it is, that guard for his instep and his shin. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is fouled off. Just got a piece of it. Carlos today with a pop up and a fly ball. I mentioned all the fly balls that Bannister has been getting. A boatload of them here this afternoon. He has fanned 3. Swing and a miss, and Guillen is out of there. Make that 4 strikeouts. By the way, did you know that this game is available in crystal clear, high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD? It's also sponsored by Comcast. It's kind of a gray day here at the ballpark today. Temperature has been able to climb into the 50s, 51 right now. And a gray day as well for the Tigers bats. Only 3 hits. Inge has one of them, a single back in the 5th inning. Two and 0. Told you last week in Kansas City that Bannister wears the number 19, which is his dad wore. Floyd, number 19. Floyd pitched in the big leagues for a while. In fact, Floyd had that number 19 retired where he pitched collegiately at Arizona State.
Floyd pitched 15 years in the major leagues. Left-handed pitcher.
Picking up the telephone, and it looks like Roman Colon is starting to warm up in the bullpen for Kansas City. The Tigers were able to do some great work against that Royals bullpen in KC last week. Ball 1 to Laird. Well, they chat about it on the mound. Here's another reminder. The Tigers McDonald's player of the game. Voting is presented today by the Big Mac. I'm loving it. Here's how the voting is going so far. Brandon Inge, 50% of the vote. There's Cabrera, and there's Ordonez also on the tote board. See the final results postgame during Tigers Live. Check out your text response as well for special offers from McDonald's. It sounds really good right now. Here's Gerald Laird with a 1-0 count. The pitch is a ball inside, 2-0. So Bannister now falling behind both Inge and Laird.
Well, Laird needs to make sure on this next fastball, if he's swinging the bat, that he tries to have a stronger top hand during the swing, which would allow him to hit a line drive or a ground ball and not a pop-up. He's popped up twice today. A couple of days ago, he also popped up a couple of times. You really have to make the adjustment within your hands to come down through the baseball with strong top hand, which allows you to hit more ground balls, more line drives.
Driven toward left center field, hit well on the move is Ankiel, and he won't get it, up against the wall. Inge coming to third. They're going to wave him around. Here comes Rannon to the plate. Here comes the throw. There's a play, not in time. The relay from Betancourt sailed on Kendall. It's a double and an RBI for Laird.
It's a nice adjustment by Gerald. He worked the count into his favor. And by going 2 balls and 1 strike, he knew he was going to get a fastball. And he had a strong top hand, able to get down through that baseball, which resulted in a line drive into the gap instead of a pop-up. Good at bat. Let's take a look at the next Exmo. And of course, Lincoln Mercury sponsors Exmo. Good concentration by Laird.
First double of the year, first RBI of the year, second hit of the year for Laird. Bannister is done. They make a pitching change. And we step aside. 5-1 game. We'll be back.
Made some adjustments in his batting stance this year. We're going to visually show it to you. On the left here, you see where Gerald Laird was last year. You see the hands are right up in this area. And then when he takes his swing, he drops. But this year, what they have given him is the fact that his hands rest quietly on the back shoulder, which they're trying to do to him to keep him back. And if he does stay back, it allows him to drive the ball in the gap. Here he stays back. He doesn't glide too far. Although he had to reach for that ball, he was able to get on top of it because he didn't glide too far. So we'll continue to follow Laird during the course of the year in his new batting stance.
Well, it produced his first RBI here in the 7th inning. Tigers get on the board. They trail 5-1. Still only 1 out. Here's Scott Sizemore, and Roman Colon is the new pitcher.
He's a hard thrower. He's got a lofty earned run average. Most of that damage came courtesy of Tigers batters, but Colon has got a really nice firm fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Sizemore had a base hit back in the 3rd, hit one to the warning track right in front of the wall his last time up.
Pulled fair inside the bag at 3rd. That's going to be extra bases. Laird will come home to score, and Sizemore's starting to heat up now. That's an RBI double.
Well, the Kansas City Royals bullpen has had their issues with the Tigers this year in the 5 games they've played against one another. And it mimight be another one of those days. Colon is a hard thrower. I told you his fastball anywhere from 91 to 95, but he throws a breaking ball to Sizemore. And a lot of times when you're a hitter like Sizemore, you're anticipating a fastball. And even though you get the breaking ball, if the breaking ball stays up, it speeds your bat up and it allows you to hit the ball sharply to the full field, as he's done already here today.
Second hit of the game, second double of the season. Sizemore has his 3rd RBI. Santiago pinch hitting now for Adam Everett. Tigers now have 5 hits. They're chipping away, down by 3. One ball, 1 strike on Santiago.
Ball hit the left field. More than likely, Gene Lamont will challenge the throwing arm of Scott Pasetnik, who plays that position. Now, he'll have to think about it, however, if the ball's in center field or right field. Ankiel throws very well, and DeJesus has a strong, accurate throwing arm himself. Those are all things your third base coach has to think about before the ball's even hit.
All 3 of the Royals outfielders left-handed throwers.
DeJesus had 13 assists last year, although those assists came from left field, where his arm probably plays better than it does in right field. Ankiel, it really doesn't matter where you put him. He's got a tremendous throwing arm in center field. Tremendous throwing arm.
Two and 2 on Santiago. Three and 2. Jackson would be next. Only 1 out here in the 7th. Tigers trailed 5-0. It's now 5-2. And a crowd of better than 18,000 starting to get into it now. Fouled away. Bannister was clipping along until he walked in, fell behind Laird, and ended up giving him an RBI double. Then Colon came on. Sizemore doubled in a run. Popped him up. Heading back toward the seats, but there is room for Callaspo. Big out. 2 gone, which leaves the runner at second, and now a chance for Austin Jackson. Jackson today 0 for 3. Austin now 2 for 8 in this series against the Royals. Coming into this game, he had been on base 6 times in the previous 2. Trying to keep the rally going here in the 7th. Ball 1 inside.
See the outfielders ever so slightly shading Jackson toward right center field, right field. Big gap in left field should he pull the fastball from Colon.
Two balls, no strikes. 3-0 now on Jackson. Got the left-handed batting Johnny Damon waiting on deck. There is more action in the bullpen for KC. The 3-0. There's a strike right at the knees. 3-1. Into center field. That's a base hit, and another run will score. Jackson motoring towards second. Here comes a throw, not in time. Two-base hit for Austin Jackson. We've got ourselves a ball game.
We showed you the alignment there of the defenders right before the at-bat to Jackson, and there was a lot of room in left center field. And after he finally gets himself into a really nice count, 3-1, this ball doesn't go all the way to the wall, but he knew it was going to be tough for DeJesus to throw him out at second base because of his momentum going towards center field. He challenged him and won. Pasetnik, excuse me. DeJesus is in right.
So the Tigers now have 3 doubles in this inning. 1 for Laird, 1 for Sizemore, and 1 for Jackson. And they've all produced a run. Hughes, the left-hander, will come trotting in to face the lefty Johnny Damon. By the way, we invite you to visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers merchandise, including clubhouse caps and T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. Get your gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop. By the way, we mentioned the Red Wings getting ready to take on Phoenix. Round 1 schedule looks like this tomorrow at Phoenix on Fox Sports Detroit HD at 9:30. Game 2 Friday, Game 3 Sunday in Detroit. And there's the complete schedule where you can find the Detroit Red Wings Round 1 schedule against the Phoenix Coyotes. And that's the prize. Lord Stanley's Cup. Well, the Red Wings really got healthy at the end of the year, turned it on. It was 10 straight years now of 100 points for the Red Wings.
That's what it takes. Sometimes you're going to have some injuries early in the year. If you can just keep it together until you get your troops back, you can make a nice run, which is exactly what they've done.
Red Wings looking to win their 12th cup. Meanwhile, Dusty Hughes comes on.
Opponent's batting average against Hughes is just 182. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks in the 3 games that he has been in.
Well, it's a ball game once again. A 2-run spread. Tying run coming to the plate. It's Johnny Damon.
Well, if you're Damon, you might as well look to hit something to left field. Usually guys like Hughes that aren't overpowering, that throw from the left side, when going up against left-handed batters, they try to stay down and away from you.
0 for 2 for Damon. He waves and misses 0-1.
And that's exactly where he went with that first pitch.
Johnny walked in his first at bat against Bannister. The Royals are hoping their bullpen will not waste another good effort from a starter. Bannister pitching into the 7th. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Johnny Damon.
Looks like he had Johnny fooled on that slow breaking ball.
Wouldn't chase that one. 2-2. Runner at second is Jackson. He's just driven in a run to make it 5-3. Here's the 2-2. It's Luke Fowl back out of play. Little coach still warming up, and now Ryan Perry has joined him. Kendall down to block it, and it's 3-2. You put Damon on, and now you bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Ordonez waiting on deck. Bouncing ball hit slowly, right side, going to be a tough play. Hughes over to cover, safe. Damon beats it out. It's an infield hit, and the tying runs are on.
There was no way that Hughes was going to beat Damon to the bag. Hughes, like most left-handed pitchers, fall off toward the third base side, and after Johnny topped this ball toward first base, there was no chance for Hughes to recover. Right now, he's about done. Damon's going to beat him to the bag. There's no debate about that.
And they're going to let the lefty pitch to Maglio. First and third with 2 outs. Hughes stays in the game to pitch to Maglio Ordonez, who's 1 for 3. And a ball down low. Kendall again called upon to block that baseball. Ordonez just safely in 7 of 8. Gap shot away from tying this one up. Two and 0.
Trey Hillman has the right-hander ready in his bullpen, but he elects to leave Hughes in to go after Maglio.
Surprised here?
Well, yes and no. And the reason why I'm not surprised is the fact that their bullpen has struggled mightily. And I guess right now, Trey Hillman is thinking to himself, it doesn't matter who he brings in, that they have struggled. Although he has confidence in him, he probably has more confidence in Hughes at this point in time.
Inside, 3-0.
Well, here's the numbers from last week at what the relievers did against Tigers batters. 14 earned runs, 6 walks.
He's taking, and it's 3-1 on Ordonez.
I don't think I've ever seen Maglio swing a 3-0 pitch.
I don't think so either.
He didn't like to. He'll like this fastball right here, though, if he gets it.
RBI doubles by Laird, Sizemore, and Jackson in this inning, bringing the Tigers back 5-3. They have the tying runs on. And he takes high, ball 4, load him up for Cabrera.
You got to go get him now.
So he gave Hughes a chance to pitch to Ordonez, but he ain't going to last much longer with Cabrera 2 up and the base is loaded. Cruz and Farnsworth had been tuning up. And that's going to be it for Hughes. He will depart the scene. Trey Hillman watching his bullpen make it interesting again. Cruz will be coming in to face Miguel Cabrera.
Hey fans, all you can eat seats at Comerica Park are now on sale. Located on the upper suite level, seats come with an endless supply of hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, soft drinks, and more. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, the Tigers have made a lot of these games interesting this year, and they've used the comeback fashion to win a few of them, and they are trying to do it again here today. And what better hitter to have up there right now than the reigning player of the week in the American League, Miguel Cabrera. Meanwhile, Juan Cruz will face him. In his second season with the Royals, broke in with the Cubs. Hang on 1 minute here and we'll get the numbers on Cruz. There they are. It's his fourth appearance.
Kansas City Royals signed him late. Before last season started. As a matter of fact, it was all the way to spring training before Juan Cruz found a new home after pitching some real good baseball out west in Arizona.
Rally Cats. Cabrera now looking his chops here. He's got the bases loaded with 2 outs. Tying run right now in scoring position. And the 18,000 plus in attendance here today on their feet. Many of them are at least.
For a short reliever, Cruz has 3 pitches and he's not afraid to throw any of those pitches. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s, even though he's got a real small, slender frame. He can really bring it up there. He's got a nice little curveball and a changeup. And there's no doubt Cabrera will be looking for that first pitch fastball. He is one guy on the Tigers team that loves to swing at the first pitch that he sees in any at-bat. Not afraid of that. 440 career hitter with the bases loaded. 440.
Yikes. Well, let's see if he can pad that stat here today. Cabrera is 0 for 3. There you go. 2 grand slams with that 440 average. Tigers batting around here in the 7th. Cabrera takes outside.
That's why that first pitch breaking ball is a dangerous pitch to guys like Cabrera. If you have enough confidence in throwing it again, you may as well do so, because if you try to throw a fastball by him, it's tough to do on most days.
2-0 with no place to put him. Tigers now all of a sudden have 7 hits. They put up 3 doubles here in the 7th. Jim Leland sensing another comeback.
Cabrera can't be afraid to swing the bat here. He doesn't like to do it, and there were times last year where Jim forced Cabrera into swinging 3 balls and no strikes.
And he's going to take ball 4.
Wanted no part of it.
A bases loaded walk makes it a 5-4 game.
That may as well have been an intentional walk today.
It sure looked like it, didn't it?
Wanted no part of Cabrera.
That's an RBI for Miguel, his 9th of the year. Tigers down by a run. That'll bring up Guillen. Bannister struck him out to start the inning. Carlos 404 with a bases loaded career. Tying run at third base. And a drive down the right field line. Fair ball. It'll go to the corner. This might score 3. 2 runs are in. And they will hold the runner at third base, Cabrera. Carlos Guillen comes through and the Tigers lead.
Cruz wanted no parts of Miguel Cabrera. And he walked him with the bases loaded for Carlos Guillen to get up there. And Carlos, the last couple of games after Miguel Cabrera walks, has been doing some damage, and he does most of the damage to the pull field. Little tailing fastball right back into the happy zone of Guillen. He cocks that rough right foot and hits a bullet down the right field corner.
First hit of the afternoon for Guillen. It makes it 6-5 Detroit.
And another no decision for Brian Bannister. Oh my goodness.
And here's Brandon Inge for the 2nd time in this inning. Strike 1. So the bullpen does it again. They give it up. Inge trying to pad the lead now.
It's a big at bat right here by Brandon.
Ground ball hit to short. Betancourt gobbles it up. And that is that. So the Tigers have a big inning. How big? They scored 6 times. They take the lead. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. First time today, they were down 5-0. And they post a 6th spot in the 7th inning. Ramon Santiago stays in the game. He'll play shortstop. Change out in left field. Johnny Damon is done. Donnie Kelly is in. And the new pitcher for the Tigers is Ryan Perry.
In 4th game now that Perry has been in, 2.45 earned run average, 3 2/3. He has 1 save this year. That was here at home. His first career save. That was a day where Valverde wasn't available. And Ryan Perry went out and got the save for the Tigers.
Scott Podsednik will lead it off and keep him off the base paths. First pitch is in for a strike. 0-1 on Podsednik.
Ryan Perry's mom and dad was in attendance that afternoon when he got his first career major league save, and Perry was fortunate enough to get the ball back, and he said after the game he presented it to his dad.
Perfect. The 0-1. Little chopper back up the middle. Tough play. Sizemore has no play. And Podsednik is on again.
Well, you're going to have to pay a little bit of attention to Podsednik, but you don't want to pay too much attention to him because you know he's going to steal at some point in time. He has been a pest this year for the Tigers, and really was a pest against the Tigers last year playing for the White Sox.
He stole a base back in the 1st inning, his 6th of the year. He's perfect. In fact, their team is perfect.
Well, one of the things that they had to do with Perry when they brought him to the big leagues last year, they had to quicken him up a little bit. When you pitch late in games and you're a power pitcher and you particularly don't get the ball to the catcher in a timely fashion, those are things you have to work on. So they've had to quicken him up so Laird has a chance, at least a chance, at throwing out Podsednik.
High fly ball right field. Cruising over is Ordonez to the warning track to pull it in right in front of 330.
Billy Butler up there swinging at the first pitch fastball, knowing that he'd get it. And because Podsednik is on first base. If you bat behind a true base stealer, you're going to get a lot of fastballs to hit.
Be ready for him, huh?
Billy Butler's going to get a lot of fastballs to hit if Podsednik continues to play the way that he's playing. They're going to talk about Jose Guillen. That's just how hot he's been.
Double homer, walk in this game for Guillen. Strike one. Tigers today have been out hit 14-8, but that 6-run seventh catapults them into the lead. Tigers trying to go to 6-2 on the brand new season. They'll go down the right field line, foul. Oh, 2. Fouled away.
You don't want that 0-2 pitch to be too good a pitch if you're Perry and Laird here. As hot as Guillen is, you've got to make him chase something, at least on the 0-2 pitch.
That 6-run Tigers 7th ties them for their high so far in a single season. Or this season, a single inning. Of course, this season not very old, but they did it against KC back on April 5th. They had a 6-run 7th. Checked it, looked like he went. Give me an appeal. Yes, he went around, and Guillen is out.
Good pitch. Up, out of the strike zone, firm in the mid-90s. Gerald Laird went out to talk to Perry before this at-bat to see how they wanted to pitch Guillen, and we're going to show it to you courtesy of Bell Tire. It's our pitch-by-pitch. First 2 pitches, fastballs in, and then he comes up at the top of the strike zone, the mid-90s fastball. Guillen can't hold up on it.
And Keel takes ball 1.
It's a big out right here. Big out. Big out.
Keel today is 1 for 4, singled in the 7th, scored a run. Big rip. 1-1.
And the reason why it's a big out is we do not want Teoscar in the batter's box with the runner in scoring position. Papa Grande heating up.
Ground ball to second. Sizemore has it there. Inning over. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Tigers by 1. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849.
Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by Bell Tire. Get the best tire price, period. Bell Tire. And back here at Comerica Park, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers lead today 6-5 after trailing 5-0. Gerald Laird is leading it off. Then Sizemore, then Santiago.
Gerald Laird had a big at-bat in the 7th against Bannister. And working the count into his favor, 2-1 before doubling off the left center field gate. And he needed that base hit.
Well, Guillen's 2-run double may have put the Tigers ahead. But boy, that Laird hit, you're right, absolutely. Chris Getz, now the new second baseman.
Baseball is not an easy game, and it's very difficult to hit big league pitching, but it sure does make it easy when you get yourself in favorable hitting counts. 3-1, 2-1, 2-0. Which is exactly where Laird finds himself once again.
Line drive, base hit. Laird has his second hit.
Nice adjustments made here today by Gerald Laird. First 2 times up, he popped up. The next 2 times he comes up. And then by having the bat on his shoulders, as you see right here, nice and relaxed by Laird, he's able to come straight down through the baseball. That's a direct swing straight down through the baseball. You're not going to pop that pitch up. It's a good swing by Laird.
Bob McClure is out. Their pitching coach. They have a chat with Juan Cruz. They've got Sizemore up here. We'll see what the Tigers want to do. If Sizemore is considering laying one down, a lengthy conversation with Gene Lamont. And while they chat about it on the hill, we bring you our Comerica game summary. Carlos Guillen with go-ahead double in the 7th. Jose Guillen, how about the series he's had? And the Royals bullpen continues to be a thorn in their side.
If Sizemore is bunting and you want to bunt the ball down toward first base, make Billy Butler vacate that position he has right now, holding on Laird, and come to get the ball.
Well, see if he's bunting. They may want to let him hit. I mean, he has an RBI double and a single today. He's trying to swing it a little bit better.
That run is awfully important.
He is showing bunt, and he pops it up. It's going to drop. Cruz over to get it. Gets the job done. So put the runner in scoring position down for Santiago. Been a good day for Sizemore. Sacrifice, double, single, RBI. Ramon came on as a pinch hitter back in the 7th. Stayed in the game. Ball 1. Nine Tigers hits now, 14 today for KC. Series wraps up tomorrow with Davies and Porcello. Mendoza warming up in their bullpen. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Gerald Laird not very aggressive with a secondary lead from second base, but this is one of those situations where you've got to get as much as they're giving you. And Betancourt at short, gets at second, not paying a whole lot of attention to G Money. And by you getting that extra step may be the difference in you being safe and out at home plate on the base hit.
Two and two on Santiago. Three and two. Jackson on deck. He also chipped in with a double in that 6-run seventh.
A hustling double.
Toward left field, slicing and back out of play. Sednick couldn't quite get there. Santiago is 0 for 1. He popped up in his pinch hitting role back in the seventh. Three-two pitch. Walked him. So the clock thickens now, and it looks like we're going to get another pitching change. Way up. With Jackson due up. Well, Cruz hasn't exactly been the answer. So Cruz gives up the baseball and he'll head to the bench. Back in the bullpen they go. Mendoza coming in. And as they make this pitching change, let's go back to the studio. Ryan Field has an update on that Angels-Yankees game. Apparently the Yankees, Ryan, are starting to pour it on. And Mendoza will come on. So the Royals go back to the bullpen that really has been much maligned here against the Tigers. The Tigers beat him up on Thursday. He went 1 2/3, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1 and threw 38 pitches in his inning and 2/3. And his job now is to get Jackson. The Tigers have 2 men on, 1 man out. A big road trip coming up for the Tigers. They certainly would like to get as many home wins as they can here the first week of the season. You've got Seattle, LA, and Texas, and that's going to be a grueling 11 games.
I know it's still early, but Seattle and LA obviously are the class of that division, but it's been the Oakland Athletics that have gotten off to the best start in that division.
Friday game on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, a programming note. That's the first game on the 16th against Seattle. Meanwhile, out west, the Oakland Athletics. Are you buying this early? They're 6-2.
No, not yet. Not yet. But what a difference not having Cliff Lee makes for the Seattle Mariners. After they made all the additions that they made in the offseason, a lot of people had them winning the pennant.
apparently there's something going on with Mendoza's glove that the umpires want corrected here, and the trainer will come out and probably snip some of the leather off.
Yeah, snip some of the leather.
What if there's a rule on that? Just arbitrarily snipped a piece of leather off there.
Coincidentally, it was Trey Hillman in a game last week in Kansas City that had the umpires at that point in time force Zumaya into taking some tape off of his index finger on his right hand.
Well, here's Austin Jackson. Tigers looking for some insurance here. They lead 6-5 in the 8th.
The sun is shining.
Maybe the first time today. Cloudy and overcast all day. Rain in the morning.
This has been the Royals bullpen problem. They have put the Tigers hitters in way too many friendly counts. Their starters have done a nice job. Hochevar, a couple of nice starts. Bannister, a couple of nice starts. Zach Greinke wasn't himself, but still, he's going to be okay. But the bullpen guys, everybody's 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, and they've all got good arms down there.
Well, the count just got friendlier. It's 3-0. Royals had Bannister on the mound in the 7th inning, leading 5-0. It's now 6-5 Detroit. There's a strike, 3-1. Straight back, 3-2 on Jackson. Mendoza was acquired back on the 2nd of April. Got him from the Texas Rangers.
And decision time for Jim now. You got one out. Do you start the runners on a 3-2 count with Jackson in the batter's box, or do you just let him stay there and let Kelly take his shot should Jackson strike out?
Fouled away.
They were staying home.
Well, I think the strikeout's obviously part of that decision for Jim Leland. Three and 2. Fouled away again. Jackson now with 4 RBIs, doubling in a run in that big 6-run 7th inning. Laird led it off with a single to sacrifice to second. Santiago then walked, so they're on the bases. And the 3-2. Fouled off again. Austin Jackson in his first year in the big leagues. Coming over from the Yankees. Tigers getting a little bit younger. Getting some speed in their lineup with Jackson. And he missed ball 4. Load him up. Second walk in this inning. He's going to bring up Don Kelly. He'll get his first at bat. After coming on as a defensive replacement for Johnny Damon.
Tigers batters have now walked 39 times this year. 39 times Tigers hitters have taken a free pass.
This is what, game 8 on the season.
They came into the game with 33, which ranks 2nd in the American League.
This just has to be excruciating for Trey Hillman.
5 walks in the last inning in the 3rd by their relievers.
Bob McClure can't be too happy either.
Well, I mean, there's nothing more demoralizing to a team than when you have a lead, only to squander that lead because the bullpen blew it. It's going to happen on occasion, but not as much as it has happened early this year against Tigers hitters for Bob McClure. Big runner at 3rd right now for Kelly to drive in. give Valverde a little margin for error down there in the bullpen.
Ground ball. Fielding is Butler, comes home, and they'll get the force there.
It's a nice play by Billy. It looked like he wanted to go to shortstop to go 3-6-3 and back the other way, but you can't run the risk of doing that, although that may have been a ball they would have been able to turn 2 on. You don't want to take that chance.
So here's Ordonez with the bases loaded, 2 outs.
Maglio walk in the 7th. He's also singled. He has scored a run. Ball 1. Tigers hitters with almost walks you were talking about. 19 of those have come in the last 3 games. That last game against the Indians to close out that series on Sunday. And the first 2 here against the Royals. Fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rolled foul again, 1-2. The Royals in the 9th will have Callaspo, Kendall, and Getz due up. Checked it. Run it to 2-2. With Cabrera waiting on deck. Big fella batted in the 7th inning with the base loaded, and they walked him. Ground ball left side. Fielding there is Callaspo. He'll fire to second, and the bullpen does the job by wiggling out of the jam here in the 8th. Tigers leading loaded. We go to the 9th. Up 6-5. The Tigers are 3 outs away from getting a victory. Last call for the Royals, and the Tigers will go to the bullpen. They bring the closer in, Jose Valverde, coming in. Showing off his little routine to the home fans for the first time.
Hey, big boy. Hard thrower, too. 95 and above with the fastball and a devastating split-fingered pitch.
Fifth appearance for Valverde. And he's going to face Callaspo to lead it off. Then Kendall. Checked his swing. They want the appeal, and they say that he held. He did not go. 1-0. Callaspo took Valverde deep for a home run in the 11th inning. The game against the Royals in Kansas City. The 1-0 is a strike, 1-1. Strike called in the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Alberto Callaspo, 2 more hits today and a couple of RBIs. Part of that Royals building a 5-0 lead that they gave away in just 1 inning. The 6-run Tigers 7th the difference. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Callaspo. Ground ball, first base, fair ball, and right there is Cabrera. 1 gone. Here's Jason Kendall. Kendall today is 2 for 4, a couple of singles. Batting .357. He is given time by home plate umpire Chris Guccione.
I've noticed by watching a few games on television, there are times where the home plate umpire will not give that hitter timeout because of, they're trying to speed games up.
There's the ball. Well, I think when you look at what really slows a game down, one of the things that people seem to point to are batters taking a lot of time at home plate.
And pitchers walking off the mound, walking around the rubber. Or the mound, I should say.
The 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. Jim Leland really, in talking about times of the game, he said, that's just the nature of baseball. I mean, if you sit through a long movie and it's a good movie, then you don't seem like you feel like it's a long movie.
Well, it's a pretty good committee that Buck Selig has put together. Some general managers.
Deep in the hole. Santiago going to have to hurry. Nice play.
Nice. Gorgeous play by Santiago. Kendall runs better than most catchers, and Santiago knew that. And when he grabbed this ball, four-seam variety, and threw a clothesline back across the diamond. Nice stretch by the big fella.
1 more out to get. And not coincidentally, it's Chris Getz. With the bases empty. Getz his first at bat. He came on as a defensive replacement, and he looks at a strike. Valverde hopping around the mound. Getz was 0 for 3 yesterday, scored a couple of runs. Here's the 1-1. Driven down the right field line. It's going to go foul. Into the corner. 1-2. $18,000 plus in attendance here today, looking for the final strike or the final out. Here's the 1-2. Right back up the middle. Here comes Santiago. How about another Tiger win?
They stole another one.
A comeback victory, 6 in the 7th.
They stole another one.
Tigers win it here this afternoon, 6-5. Back with more from Comerica Park. Another comeback win. Valverde putting the finishing touches on this one.